Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Lisa's Coloring Corner. I had a request from a viewer that kind of wanted to see the difference between drilling with the round drills and drilling with the square drills, wondering what was easier, kind of how they each went down. So I thought that I would get out the project that we've been working on for our diamond painting Gab. Color and chat. This is a diamond painting in chat. And I thought we would work on this one, which is the round drills. And then I would get out the one that I am working on in the living room for Maddie's birthday, the Minnie Mouse one. That is a full square drill. So I thought we'd work on this one for a bit. I would pause the video and then set up with the square drill diamond painting. So let's get going. I do have a couple of drill pins all waxed up and ready to go. So I thought, let's see, let's fill in the number 7s. That is 3608. Pardon my arm. I am trying out a new recording system, which I will talk about while I am doing this. So, dump some of these in here. Don't need many because I don't have many to do. Now, I'm going to zoom in a little. And then I am going to adjust my camera so that we can see it. Okay, how does that look? Okay. All right, so how is everybody doing? It is Friday when I am recording this. Stuck on there and I can't get it off. There we go. So yes, it is Friday night. Sun is starting to go down. So I do have one of my desk lights on over here. So I hope it's not shining too brightly on the diamond painting. The diamond sparkle. So yes, I am trying out a new recording system that hopefully will work a little bit better for me than what I had been using. It is some new apps on my phone and my iPad that lets me remote connect between the two, so I can see what I am filming, recording as I am working on this, and I can still see it on my iPad. But the thing that's nice about this, it shows the whole screen. My whole iPad screen fills up instead of just the middle third like what it was doing before. Because yes, that was better than nothing. It still let me, see if I was in frame or not. But I just couldn't see real well. And then, as you know, in some of my past videos, I was having such a time with my remote, with the zoom not working and it turning off on me and things like that. And yeah, I was just having all kinds of problems with it. So kind of went back to the drawing board. 3772, and started looking at other possibilities. And I found an app. Now, it wasn't free like the other one that I was using. I did have to pay for it. But there is an app that you do put on your iPhone and your iPad, just like the other one. Let's come up here with the K's. But the thing that's nice about this is it has zoom capability built right into the app itself. The only problem, and I did contact them about this, and they said it is on their to-do list when they come out with a new version, and that is the zoom capability on the remote app, so on my iPad, is not as good or as easily accessible as what it is on the native app on my iPhone, because you do have the two apps that join together, you know, and yeah, it's just not quite as seamless on the iPad, but you control it all from the iPad itself. So I don't need that external little clicker to start and stop the videos or to zoom in or any of that, because I can do it all from the iPad. So that's why I said we will test this out. Today I did a couple of other videos this morning, and I did use it, and it worked pretty good. The zoom worked pretty good. It seemed, now I hope when I zoomed in today for this video that it seemed like the zoom was pretty seamless. It seems to work really well. I just have to then adjust where I'm at so that I am in screen as I work, but that's with any zoom. So there is one downfall, and I'm hoping the quality, the audio quality of this video is not going to be too bad. My existing mic, 741, will not work with this app for some reason. I asked them about it, and they said with my brand of mic, they've known to have some problems with it. And he told me a couple of things to try to get it working. I was going with A's, right? 741, yep. And I did try everything he had suggested, and my mic still is not working with this app. So I do again apologize for the audio. I am going to be looking into a mic that will work with this app. Unfortunately, the one he suggested, and the only one that he knows of that works with this, is like a $70 mic. Yeah, a little bit beyond my means. Kind of pricey. But he just says that's, you know, kind of a known problem with the cheaper mics like I had. I had just a, you know, cheaper lapel mic. And yeah, they've kind of been known to have some problems. 3805. So I am hoping I can get that worked out, and that in the meantime, by using the mic on my phone, it won't detract too bad from the audio quality, I hope. I'll have to listen to this back and see if I sound real tinny, or I don't know. If the sound quality is too bad, so please let me know in the comments what you think of the audio quality of this. If it is kind of bad, please let me know. And I may have to revert back to my old system until I can find a mic that will work with this new system. So yeah, let me know. I'm just always looking for new and improved things that's going to make things easier for recording, and it seems like no matter what I find, there's some kind of problem. It's always something. I was so excited last night when I found this set of apps that would work, and it sounded like, oh my gosh, it's going to do exactly what I want it to do. And for the most part, it does. And I'm still kind of out of frame here, ain't I? Let's see. Let's get over here and down. For the most part, it is doing everything I wanted to, except for a little bit better zoom capability, but I can live with this. My biggest problem right now is the fact that my external mic does not work. That is kind of a big one for me. I mean, I know the mics on the iPhones aren't too bad with these newer models. They pick up sound pretty good, but it's just not the same as having an external mic. Just not the same thing. So we'll see. Just started using this system today, so like I said, it is a whole brand new setup for me, and I am still learning the ropes, how to connect them together and what I need to change and set up. So good thing I like learning new things. I've always been like that. I always liked learning stuff and coming up with new configurations that'll work better for me. Okay, let's see. We're almost done with this square. We can move on to the one over here. Let's go on to the... Oh, there's a couple of M's in there yet. I think I forgot them from before. 3024. So I am just going to, instead of putting them in a tray, I'm just going to get a couple out of the bin itself. Which I do if I notice that I'm just missing one or two. I don't bother shaking them into my tray. I just take them out of the container. All right, yep, that's the only two M's. And then I see I have an S up here, so I'm going to get that one out too. 702, the bright green. Ooh. Okay, let's get one of these out. So yes, I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. Are you doing anything in particular this weekend? Any big plans? Okay, H. 3776. Okay. I also had a question from a viewer that I am going to address quick. And she was wondering, where do you start on a diamond painting? She was going to be starting her very first diamond painting, and she's like, where do you start on the diamond painting? And I thought, I never mentioned anything about that in my mini-series on the basics of diamond painting, and it is a good question, and it is a little bit personal preference, I guess, but I have found that for me anyhow, starting in the upper left of the picture works best for me because I am right-handed. If you are left-handed, you may want to start in the upper right corner. 729. I at one point had tried starting from the lower on the bottom, the lower left, and while it was okay while I was on that bottom row, as soon as I pulled up the canvas a couple of times, some of my drills on the bottom started popping off. Not a lot, but there were some here and there. And so, yeah, I lost some drills off my diamond painting because, yeah, as I pulled it down, then the diamond painting itself was sitting down in my lap. And instead of having it the unfinished part of the diamond painting sitting in my lap, which it is now, I had 38.58. I had I'm looking for numbers and talking at the same time. I had the drilled part down in my lap, and I did not like that. I found it did not work for me. Others find that that works great for them. So the problem that I had that time, yeah, with the drills popping off, and I don't know, I just didn't like it. So I always start in the top left-hand corner. So you can try that. If you find you don't like that, you can try it from the bottom up. Again, it kind of is personal preference, but I just thought I would give the reason why I do it the way I do it. Some of these are kind of off. I'm not even bothering to pour these into the drill trays because I just have a couple of each. There's not many. Okay, so we have 1 T, 2 T's. Okay. So yeah, we'll work on this one for a little bit. I've been wanting to get this one out and work on it anyhow. Okay, 1L. L is 38.65. The white. And we have a couple Q's and a couple P's. So Q is 7.97. 7.97 is the pretty blue. And then we will have this square done finally. I think this is what, the 3rd diamond painting in chat I have done on this first square. I guess if I don't work on this off camera too, it's probably going to be middle of summer before we get this done together. And so P 3607. Oh well, I guess it's not a race, is it? Just something to do while we chat together. If there ever comes a time when I do feel like working on it on my own, I will just pull it out and work on it. But okay, now we have the section done. Isn't it pretty? Can you see the sparkles? Look at that. You know, one thing, whoops, now I lost my, one thing that I noticed, and I have heard others say this too, is the sparkle on the rounds. I guess this is one more good thing about the rounds, is the rounds do, and I can attest to this now with doing this round, they actually sparkle more than the squares do. They really do. It's been so long since I have done a round diamond painting. I'm going to move you down here now. That get you straight here. Gotta adjust my phone and get you up here. It's been, yeah, so long since I have done a round diamond painting that I really can see the difference now between the square and the round as far as the shininess of the drills. There is a difference. All right, let's start with the top row, and that is number 9. Number 9, 677. Get up my drill tray now. 677, which is kind of a cream color. it feels really bizarre to not have the cord hanging from my phone from the mic. I don't have anything clipped to my shirt, so it feels really bizarre because I'm not using my mic. I've always used my mic. So again, I really hope the audio quality of this is not going to be too bad. I know there are others who do not record with an external mic at all, so, and while maybe it doesn't sound quite as good as with an external mic, I don't think it'll be too bad where it'll be unbearable to even watch it. I hope not anyhow. It sure is nice having the full screen of my iPad to watch now though. Wow, that makes a difference. Now, of course, I'm not saying that I'm not gonna get off screen yet. That happens to even the best of us. Okay, let's come back over here. So yeah, I am all excited about this. Can you tell? And it gives me a nice big counter down at the bottom to let me know how long my video is. And one other really nice feature, it's an option you can turn on, and if you have to pause the video for some reason or another, like Bella starts barking, or like what I'm going to have to do as soon as I switch from the round and go to the square diamond painting, I'm going to have to pause you, take this down and set up the square diamond painting. Essentially what happens is you don't really pause. You actually stop that video, do what you have to do, and then you start a new video and you join them together in your editor. Now what this piece of software or app can do, the function, the option that you can turn on is if you quote pause unquote and you want it to be a true pause, you turn this feature on, and when you press the button that would normally stop the video, it is kind of like a pause button, and it truly is the end of one video. And when you start the next section, it actually is another video, but when you do a hard press on that button to truly end the video, it automatically joins those two clips together for you. Isn't that cool? So then when I have it saved to my camera roll, it is one file. So then when I go in my editor, I don't have to worry about joining those two together, and it's all done for me already. So another nice feature about this particular app. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Except for, like I said, the mic issue. I'm still kind of getting used to doing these diamond painting and chats. I usually, you know, I'm concentrating on the task at hand and not talking as I'm working. I mean, I kind of like coloring. You get lost in doing the diamond painting, which is kind of what it's supposed to do. Just frees the mind and relaxes you. I have had a number of comments now from people who have tried diamond painting, and they actually find diamond painting now more relaxing than their coloring, even, because you don't have to worry about color selection. You don't have to worry about blending. You just get out your drills and you stick them down on a sticky canvas. Now, that's not to say that they're going to be giving up their coloring anytime soon. It's just you have a second craft to enjoy. So, yeah. I think I still overall love my, for the most part, like my coloring better than the diamond painting, but it's pretty much a toss-up. I guess the coloring just edges out diamond painting by just a tad, not much. Some of that being because I like to just curl up in my chair and color, as I've said in past videos, and I have to go over to my drafting table in order to diamond paint. So I'm just not quite as comfy as I am when I'm coloring. And yeah, that could have a lot to do with it. But also the fact that I like to just, at night after I am done watching Maddie and Jaden, I like to just kick back and relax for a while with my coloring and catch up on some YouTube videos, which I have a bunch to catch up on tonight. Many nights, however, I first come in here after they leave, and I have been recording quite a bit at night too. Again, just so I could get some videos set up ahead of time so I can work more on Maddie's Minnie Mouse diamond painting on the weekends. So at least until I get that done, I am probably going to be recording more at night in addition to my days on Fridays to get some of these videos recorded, and the quantity of my videos may go down. I know right now I'm pretty much putting out a video every day, if not 2 shorter ones. If they're short, I typically do put out 2 of them then. I just published 2 of them a little while ago, and then I had 2 shorter ones I recorded earlier today, and I will put both of those up on the same day also. So, yeah, but for a while I may end up, I don't know, maybe just being able to publish a video every other day, or, you know, and I know I do not have really a set schedule. I know some people have a schedule where they put up videos, say, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then maybe something on the weekends, or, you know, they do it Tuesdays and Thursdays, or, you know, whatever. And I do not have a schedule like that. Whoops, didn't stick. I guess in a way it would be nice, but I don't have a set schedule as far as what I record either. So if it's, I've been getting a lot of requests from you guys as far as, you know, questions and could you show this and could you show that. And I'm always like, sure, you know, if it's something I can show, I'm more than happy to do it. So I always put that ahead of my own planned YouTube videos. And I like to get those out, the requests from yous, as soon as I can. So that, you know, will determine, you know, if I have any requests from you guys, I will, you know, that'll change my schedule of when I'm publishing videos too. So I guess I just play it by ear. I will record what I can when I can. And yeah, right now I'm dedicating quite a bit of time, but I'm still new, you know. I want to get out as much content as I can, especially with getting some, you know, questions in and wanting to answer that. I love getting questions from you guys. Please don't think that I'm complaining about that, because I'm not. I really like getting requests from yous. It, you know, makes me know that you guys are watching the videos and that it prompts questions in your mind. Sometimes it's a question that I can just answer directly to you in the comments. And other times it's a request, could you show me this in a video? And I'm like, I sure can. And then I try to get that video up within the next day or two, if I am able, and I believe so far I have been able to do that. The only one that I had a little bit of a problem with was showing how I record my videos. And that just took some thought and preparation, and then I ended up having so many problems while recording it. If you have not seen that video, oh my heavens. I had more problems with my remote during the recording of that video. Hence, another reason I thought I gotta find something new. I gotta find something different, something that works better. So, if this system works for me, that other video is going to be a little outdated. So, for the person that questioned me how I record my videos, or anybody else out there, if you are interested in this new setup, this new set of apps, just let me know down in the comments, and I can go ahead and do a video and show you it if anybody is interested. I don't know if anybody would be, other than probably other YouTubers who, you know, want to be able to remote access and see what they're recording if they have Apple products, which is what I use. I thought I read somewhere that I think the native app that is on the iPhone is available on Android, but I don't think the remote app is available on Android. At least what I seen on the internet. Now, that article that I read could have been old, and it could possibly be out there by now. I don't know. I am not an Android user at all. I never have been. I've always been Apple. Sometimes I have to wonder whether it wouldn't be better to go Android, because Apple just really likes to, how shall we say, have complete control over absolutely everything, and they're not open source like Androids are. So if we want the capability sometimes of what Android phones can do, we have to jailbreak our iPhones in order to access some of those capabilities. And I have jailbroken my phone in the past, and for anybody that doesn't know what that is, no, you're not breaking your phone, but you are enabling some open source third-party apps to be installed on your phone, and you can really customize your iPhone like Androids can. And typically Apple will not let you customize your settings, at least not to the extent that you truly would like to. With each software version Apple comes out with, they are getting a little bit better in some respects, but they really still have to have a lot of control over their software, over their apps. And in some respects that's good, because it enhances the security of the iPhone, as far as viruses, malware, you know, things like that getting on your phone. So it does have its good aspects too, but as you could tell, there's a lot of people that don't like it, because there are a gazillion people who jailbreak their phone all the time, and every time a new software upgrade comes up, they patch the hole that the that was created so that you could jailbreak your phone. Every software update closes that hole, and then they have to reprogram a new jailbreak piece of software so that you can jailbreak your phone. So it is kind of a pain to do, but it depends how badly you want to do some of these other things. Yeah, it was kind of nice to be able to do some of the other things, and I can't even remember now. That was a few iPhone versions ago that I actually did that. I haven't jailbroken my phone in quite a while, number of years now, so I can't even remember what I all did on it when it was jailbroken. I know there were a lot of things on the home screen as far as your backgrounds and things that you could do that you couldn't without it being jailbroken, and I know there were a lot of other things I did too, but I can't remember what it is now. Looking to see if there are any other number 9s. And the whole while I was down here, down there, I wasn't on screen. Never even looked up to see that. Sorry, guys. Hopefully you are not watching me, you're just listening to me and doing your own thing, like coloring or diamond painting yourself. So I've kind of had to rearrange my desk just a tad so that my iPad is a little bit closer to me, seeing as how now I am controlling everything from my iPad. L3865, and it is getting dark out. Holy cow, I'm sitting in the dark. Good thing I have my light on here. Is it light enough over here, I hope? Maybe I should. I have my desk lamp on, but maybe I will. Excuse me if my arm gets in the way. That probably is worse, isn't it? What do you think? Yeah, I think it was worse with that on. Okay, we'll leave it off. We'll just leave this desk lamp on that I bought recently. Alrighty, let's do the L's, which are white. And we'll see how many L's there are. Maybe after these L's, I will pause and I will get out the square diamond painting and we will work on that for a while. Just having such a good time with this round one. Oh, I have a few more round diamond paintings coming from AliExpress, but I don't know when. And hopefully next week, well, maybe not. I'll have to double check. I ordered something really neat. Couple really cool diamond paintings off of Amazon, and I very rarely order diamond paintings from Amazon, but these came up in my feed and I seen them and I'm like, oh, them are so cool. And they were really reasonable. A lot of times the ones you get on Amazon are a little bit pricier than AliExpress because they are here in the States already and you get them in 2 days if you have Prime. Some of them, however, do still come all the way from China and you still have to wait your 3-4 weeks to get them. So, kind of all depends. You have to really watch when you order on Amazon if it is through a third party, if that name kind of looks like it may be Chinese and it doesn't say Prime, then you may be waiting. And plus, you know, once you're ready to check out, it will give you an approximate delivery date And so if it's a few weeks out, you know it's coming from China. I like to look for the ones that are prime. A lot of the ones that come from China will have a price, and then a lot of times will have the free shipping, just like AliExpress. But yeah, you're gonna have to wait for them then. So it's a waiting game then, but it's not like I'm in a big hurry for them anyhow. Like I'm just sitting here drumming my thumbs on the table waiting for them to come in the mail because I have nothing else to do. I have so much to do right now that I don't know which way is up. But that's okay. That is better than sitting here being bored. I would rather be really busy with stuff than nothing to do. And be like what my kids would used to say, I'm so bored. It's like, oh Lordy, I wish I had that problem sometimes, especially when my kids were growing up and, you know, you have to be an octopus to get everything done, right? Talk about multitasking. You had to do about, 10 things all at the same time, especially when you worked outside the home, and you had to get a lot of the cleaning done on the weekends and laundry and all of that good stuff. I remember it well. Oh, do the more thorough cleaning of the house on the weekends, because during the week it was just, quick, get the dishes done or get them stacked in the dishwasher, and then on the weekends you do the more thorough cleanings, the better vacuuming, the laundry, unless, some kid runs out of this, or, you got to throw in a load or two during the week. And, oh, yeah. The juggling of family life and working. Well, even like I said, you stay-at-home moms too. You do not have it easy either. Definitely not. That would be an extremely hard job to be a stay-at-home mom, if you ask me. And then, especially some of you stay-at-home moms that homeschool your kids. Oh my. Can't even send them out the door off to school for a few hours. And you got to be real strict and stringent with your time then. So you have, your allotment of time that you can sit down with your kids and do their schooling with them. That I could never do. I would not be able to have homeschooled my kids. Well, number one, I had a job outside the home. But irregardless, trying to get your kids disciplined enough so that they listen to you rather than a teacher about, okay, it is time to sit down and learn your math or science or, history, whatever it is. And, yeah, I think that would be rather difficult. It's hard enough to get them to sit down and do their homework when they're supposed to. It's like, okay, gotta do your homework before you can go on the iPad. That's what I gotta do with Jaden now. He doesn't typically have a lot of homework, but when he does, it's like, homework first. He gets overwhelmed real easy though, so if I sit down with him and he's got like 4 sections on this math paper, and he gets overwhelmed by looking at the whole thing at once. So then I will say, okay, let's work on one section, and you can have a half hour on the iPad. And then we're going to do the next section, and you can have a half hour on the iPad. And that seemed to work out much better for him rather than looking at it as a whole and just getting real overwhelmed. It was something that he was not real familiar with for the math, and like I said, he gets flustered easy, and so he didn't want to sit down and do it at all, and I didn't want to take iPad privileges away completely, but I knew in one way or another we had to get this math paper done and then go over his spelling words for the week, because he always has a spelling test on Fridays. So he's got to get learning his words. He's a little bit behind on that now. So he's always asking me when he's in Minecraft, Grandma, how do you spell this? Grandma, how do you spell that? And I'm like, sound it out. What letter does it sound like it starts with? And some of it, I realize, our English language is, they say our English language is the hardest language to learn out of all of them. And it's true. There are just so many exceptions to the rule in our language that it's very difficult for a kid to learn our language, just our spelling alone, much less pronunciations of words and why when this word is pronounced the exact same as that word. I mean, what is that all about? Or this word is spelt the same as that word, and then you got your verbs and adverbs and nouns and adjectives, and I mean, I know it kind of blew me away when I was a kid, so I can just imagine. And I learned to be a good speller because I was an avid reader, and I truly believe that if you are an avid reader or your kids are avid readers, that they will become better spellers, because the words mean much more sense to them then, right? If you are reading a word in context, the word is going to make a lot more sense to you rather than just trying to memorize a list of spelling words. So yeah, I loved the fact that all of my kids were avid readers. Heather was about the only one who didn't read a lot, but even Cameron read quite a bit. I don't think he reads quite like he used to, and I'm going to take this one drill back off because it's got a hole in the side. Didn't see that as I was putting it down. Hence the reason for having a tweezers. Okay, where was that one now? Right here. And I think I'm going to have to get my other drill pan out. All right. Yeah, my oldest daughter, Tanya, is still a big avid reader. She reads all the time. And, well, especially now since they found out her son, her youngest, was diabetic. She's been, of course, reading up a storm because that's the kind of mom she is. She is a very good mommy and wants to learn everything she possibly can about it and options and what would work best for him. And so she's in on all these Facebook groups where they kind of toss around ideas and, oh, did you hear about this and hear about that? So, some of those Facebook groups are really good, just like our coloring Facebook groups and our diamond painting groups. I don't know how many each of you are in. I used to belong to a lot. And because I very rarely go on Facebook anymore, I am sorry to say. So if any of you wonder where I have been, I used to post pictures a lot in a ton of coloring groups. And I really don't anymore. I don't know the last picture I posted on Facebook that I colored. I haven't even gotten around to posting them. I posted a few on Instagram. And I'm probably going to try to be more diligent about posting it on Instagram than in the Facebook groups. Like I said, I quit a lot of my coloring groups and a lot of diamond painting groups because I wasn't posting them in anyhow, and I wasn't even really going in and looking at notifications, and so it's like, yeah, doesn't really pay to belong to those groups if I'm not going to be an active participator. So yeah, I still belong to, still quite a few. I belonged to way too many in the first place, so it was probably a good thing to dwindle it down a little. And I may go in and weed out a few more. There are some that I'm always going to belong to because I really like them. I like the people that are in them. I'm just looking to see if I missed any L's up here. If you're wondering why I'm stopping here. Let me see. I don't see any over there. So let's go on over here. I think we have just a few more to do, and then I am going to pause, and I'm going to get out that square diamond painting and get that all set up and get my drills out, and we will start on that one. I need to work on that one anyhow, so we can chat while I do that. Chat while I do that. Okay, we will just finish up these last few. I really do like this little setup with this tilt tray and this little light pad that I got. I did contact her. I don't know if you've seen my previous video where I just started working with this setup on my desk here. And I had gotten this light pad from AliExpress. And I thought it was the adjustable, you know, where you could dim it and get it brighter. Could have swore that that's what I had ordered, so I messaged her. And I ordered what was called stepless dimming. You could either get the three-step dimming, the non-dimmable, capable, you know, and then it was called stepless dimming. And that was the same price as where you could get it into 3 steps from dim to bright. And so I thought that just kind of meant you held on the power button and it would automatically brighten or dim, kind of like my big one is. Well, evidently not, because when she messaged me back, she said, you know, it was kind of hard to understand her, but I can't remember exactly how she said it, but I'm like, okay, you know, whatever, it's not that big of a deal. This brightness works just fine, so for what I need it for in here, this little iPad will work, or light pad, iPad. Yeah, that too. Will work just fine. So, okay. All right, I am going to try my new zoom. And let's zoom you. Oop, wrong way. Wow, doesn't that work cool? I like it. I like it. So I am going to take this diamond painting off. I'm going to put my covering back on. Make sure it's stuck down good. Okay, so I am going to pause you, and I am going to put this one away, and I will get the square one out, and I will be right back. You won't even miss me. All right, I am back. Took a little break. You didn't even know, did you? I now have the Minnie Mouse one set up that I am doing for Maddie, and I barely started this one. I just worked on it for a little bit the other night, so I just have some of the pinks done. I didn't even cut the paper yet because I never got around to it, I guess. I started it and then I realized, oh, I never cut these. And I thought, well, I'm just going to do what, before I started cutting my paper, this is what I would do, is I would just fold it down to a certain point and then I would just, you know, fold it down like this. And that works fine too. You don't necessarily have to cut them. So I got out my other tray that I use for this particular setup. For my squares, I always set them up in this tray, and I still prefer this way rather than how I have my rounds set up. This just seems to work a lot better for me. You can get at the particular color that you need much easier. I am going to be using my large tray now, which is this one. I was using this itty bitty one. So this is the one that you get with some of your toolkits, with your diamond paintings. This one I purchased separately off of AliExpress. It probably is even available on Amazon now. Originally, I think it was just available on AliExpress, but probably is on Wish now also. So I'm going to use this one, and we will do this color up here. That is, let's see, they're kind of covered up over here, 739. So let's get that one out. And we will do a little bit of diamond and chat. Here I said it again, diamond painting and chat. See, this tray I like better because I don't have to worry about them coming and falling out quite so much as I do with this little one. When I shake this one, it has a tendency to either go over the edge. This one has it's got a lot higher edge to it. And then I just hold it in my hand like this. And then I just, you know, go back and forth with it. So I'm real used to this big one. So let me zoom you back in again. I don't think we have to be in quite that far. And I am going to adjust you over again. Hang on a minute. Straighten you out a little. Am I all the way over? There we go, I think. Okay. There we go. Alrighty. So, it's almost like starting a video all over again. So with the square drills, they are a little bit harder because not only do you have to, you know, position them in the right spot, but you do have to make sure that they are straight. Whereas with the round drills, you don't have to worry about that. So square diamond painting, to me anyhow, takes a little bit longer to do. If you are just starting out with diamond painting like this person was, and you know, asking which is easier, in my opinion the round ones are much easier. Right here it's not so bad. I'm just filling in spaces that were surrounded by other drills that I had already placed down. So then it's not so bad. But it's when you get in the open, you know, over here, that you have to, you know, place them down straighter. And because they fit so tight together, now for this particular diamond painting, these drills are quite large and they are fitting together very snugly. And I may run into a problem with popping drills, I have noticed already, and I really hope that is not going to be the case throughout the entire diamond painting, or I may have to contact them, because yeah, I kind of noticed that a little bit up in this corner already, and I'm like, oh no, don't tell me that. I'm especially careful when I go along edges, especially with square diamond paintings, because when I frame mine, I cut along the edge and I cut all this white border off, And so I need this edge to be as straight as possible. Some people I know will take a ruler and put that along the top or the edge, whichever, or the side, I mean, whichever, you know, they're doing, or like a credit card or something, and they diamond paint along that. I tried doing that, and for me, it just didn't really work. I found I couldn't hold the card and diamond paint for some reason accurately at the same time. Okay, so I think that looks okay. I hope you can see this okay. Not sure if my hand's in the way as I'm diamond painting or not. I hope not. Same thing happens sometimes when you're coloring, depending on the angle that you're coloring. Sometimes your hand gets in the way and it's hard for the viewer to actually see what you're doing. And I go, you know, when I'm especially in open spaces, when I have a lot to drill of the same color, sometimes I go up and down, and then I break the monotony and I'll go sideways. So some people, I'll show you what they do when I get into a more open spot like this. They do what's called the checkerboard, and that is where you do every other one, and it's a little bit harder initially because you don't have the drill right next to you to brace up against when you're doing squares anyhow. But what you do is it looks like a checkerboard, hence the name. But you can see with squares, you do have to be a little bit more accurate with your drills, again, because you're not just placing them in the right place. You are having to place them straight. And when I did my first one, oh my, I'm like, oh, I am not liking this. And after I did a couple, it started coming easier. So it is just something like everything else, like coloring, like anything you do in life. You get better at it as you know, do more and more diamond paintings. So if you want to attempt a square and you feel like you're just not doing it right, or you're ready to throw it in the trash, give it some time. You know, continue working on it. And you know what? If some are not straight, don't worry about it. Mine are not all straight, as you can probably see. And when you fill in others right next to it, it straightens them out. So if they are a little cockeyed, it doesn't matter. It will all straighten out in the end, I promise you. Sometimes I do get some that are way off, and then I will take my tweezers and straighten them out. Because it's just like, okay, yeah. That one was way off. It was turned way to the side for some reason. But for the most part, I leave them, and then, like I said, they pretty much straighten themselves out. So yes, this is the checkerboard. I typically do not do this, but there are some advantages to it, because even though it may take a little bit longer to place these initial drills down, because again, you don't have the one right next to it to abut up next to, when you fill in, when you go back and fill in these, it goes 10 times faster. So there's goods and bads to doing it this way. And as soon as I'm done with this section of doing the checkerboard, I will go back and I will show you how fast it is to go back and fill them in. I'm just going to, because there's not a whole lot left here, I'm just going to fill these in. Another thing that we diamond painters talk about is the click. When you're doing squares, there's just something satisfying about it when you're putting in a drill that is surrounded on all sides and it makes a clicking noise as you put in that drill. It's like, I don't know, we don't know what it is, but most of us have that where it's like, oh, that sound is just so satisfying. You don't always get the click, but kind of funny. All right, now let's go back and let's fill in the checkerboard. And yeah, you'll see how fast it can go by filling in just the spaces. Lickety split. Isn't that cool? So when you fill it in, it seems like it's going really fast because you've taken the time initially to do the checkerboard. My hand is kind of in the way, isn't it? I apologize. Next time I do this, maybe I'll see if I can get the camera off to the side a little bit. And see if I can find a better setup. Unless you think this looks okay, let me know in the comments below. When I paused, I looked out in the kitchen, and yeah, the light wasn't on because it hadn't been, you know, dark yet when I started this video. But then the sun started going down, and I looked up, and yeah, it's completely black in the house. Bob is in the recliner in the living room, and he still has not been feeling the best, so I've been kind of helping him out, getting him this, that, and the other thing, and he evidently didn't feel like getting up and turning the light on. Of course, he likes to sit in the dark anyhow. I'll get up in the morning sometimes on the weekend, and if he's up already, he'll be sitting there in the dark watching the news. Or I've seen him sit at the table and eat his breakfast in the dark. This is what I have a tendency of doing when I'm done with a section, is I'll run my finger over it and I can feel if there's a drill that's popped up a little bit, and then I'll push it down. And then I can, you know, at least eliminate some that... Did you hear that click? There was another one. Ooh, they're clicking. See, this is where they're real tight. So like I said, I'm hoping. Now here it seemed to turn out much, much better. So I'm hoping that's all the rest is, and maybe that's just this color. I don't know. I may have to go back and see if I can find a few smaller drills that will fit in there. I've had to do that already. All right, let's put this color away, and let's go for these little sideways S's. And what number is that, if I can see? Yeah, this key is covered up a little bit, so I'm going to have to peel back the paper. Maybe trim, I'm going to have to trim the paper on this side so it's not covering up the symbols. Okay. Sideways S, where are you? There you are, 3761. 37.61. Oh, pretty blue. Bring my tray over here. And if I know I have quite a few, I just dump a crap load of drills in my tray. And that's another nice thing about these big trays, is you don't, here, I'm gonna pull you over. Pop my drill pin in my mouth. Okay. What was I saying? Oh no. I don't know. As my mother would say, it must not have been important. I'll think of it as soon as the video is done. Now here again, I'm along the edge, so I always try to line them up really good. Just kind of take my time. Because then, as you do the rows in, or in this case columns, it'll be much easier to abut up against them if the first column is straight, or the top row. And I don't know if we'll fill in all of these or not, or if I will just end the video. I just wanted to show you what doing a round diamond look like. And now what a square diamond look like. And I am finding I do like them both. I do like the, and this is why I've always done squares, I do like the finished look of these square diamond paintings better. But from afar, and I've said this in past videos, you really don't notice a difference. And the nice thing about the rounds is they are a little bit more sparkly. Not that the squares aren't, because they definitely are. They're all sparkly. But I do, here's a round junk one and another little bitty one. Put it in my little junk container. So yeah, I like doing both. In particular, these smaller ones that I've ordered. Now this one's a little bit bigger. The round one that I'm doing is a 30 by 40. This one is a 40 by 50. So it is a little bit bigger. And it doesn't sound like, you know, a whole lot bigger. It's just 10 centimeters on each side, but that can add up when you're doing a diamond painting. It amazes me how much bigger a 60 by 80 is, which is a lot of the big ones that I have to do yet. And I've done a number of 60 by 80s. I should show you the Christmas one I did. It's a 60 by 80 and it is so cute. I just love how it turned out. And I framed it with a dark blue background. And it's a teddy bear under a Christmas tree. And there's toys all around it. And there's a big piano in it. And I mean, it is just the teddy bear sitting on the piano. And it just turned out so cute. When I was doing it, I could not figure out what some of the things were, you know, because as you're doing it, you know, when you think about it, as you're placing each drill down, you're actually putting down 1 pixel of a picture, right? So, of course, when you're up this close to it, sometimes you cannot see what the object is that you are drilling at the moment. And until you look at it from back far, you really don't even know the object that you're making. And that was the case in that one. And I couldn't for the life of me figure out what the heck it was in the middle of that picture that I was making. And here, I don't even know exactly what they were now. They were like little hanging ornaments. They were, I don't know if they're like little hula girls or something. But they were hanging from the tree. And I didn't really see it until I was pretty much done with it. And I looked at the diamond painting from back far. And then I'm like, oh yeah, that's what they are. Now I can make them out. Or there was a really pretty big bright butterfly. And when you're doing it, you just can't see. Well, I can't say you didn't see the details because you do real close up. But it doesn't, you can't see the picture as a whole. Because again, you're diamond painting each little pixel at a time. So it definitely looks different when you look back on the diamond painting from back far. When I was doing that waterfall too, or I still am doing that waterfall, now it got put on the side yet again so that I can get this one done. But I would stand back and look at that one from back far, and it's like, oh my gosh, that is turning out so pretty. As I was doing it, I couldn't see at all the sun rays that were kind of coming through the trees and going towards the waterfall itself. And then okay, I'm going to pause. I'll be right back. All right, I am back once again. Bob just was going to bed, so I went to say goodnight to him. He just is not feeling good yet. I am kind of worried about him. He has been feeling kind of rough all week. And that man never calls in sick, and he was off work Monday and Tuesday. He stayed home. Thought he had the intestinal flu. And he felt better on Wednesday, but he's just not back to normal. He's got a real sore throat now, and it's like into his eyes and his ears, so it almost sounds like a cold, but yet his stomach still gets upset and still has other problems. And brought him bourbon chicken home for supper after I got groceries, and he normally loves that. We both do. And he couldn't even eat it, so his is sitting in the fridge yet. I made him some soup, some chicken noodle soup, thinking, you know, that would go down a little bit better, and it did. He wasn't able to eat all of it, but at least it was something. So, just needs some rest, and hopefully he'll feel a little bit better, but I guess he is going to go into the walk-in tomorrow just to have things checked out. He says it seems to be worse and stuff when he eats things with higher sugar, and I know I can get like that. I have talked about that in the past, that if I eat something real sugary and then a little while later my sugar plummets and I have to eat something, either a small candy bar or just about anything. In the beginning when that happened, I would just have like a piece of toast with some butter on, a little piece of butter toast, and you know, that alone would help. So I don't know if he's having some of the same problems. And I said, well, definitely mention that so they can check your blood sugar, and we, you know, want to make sure you're not, for some reason, becoming diabetic, or, you know, if you're starting to have problems with your blood sugars. When he went in for a checkup, his glucose level was high, but not real high. So, but I said, yeah, definitely mention it. It is something that should be checked with all the problems he has had. you definitely want to make sure everything's okay. So I will feel a little bit better after he goes in and we kind of see what's going on. And I said, maybe, you do just have an infection going on and you need to get on some antibiotics. And hopefully that's all it is. Unless it is just a really nasty bug, flu bug or something that he got, but that typically does not last this long. So he's been feeling rough for the better part of a week now, so. And he is not one that, usually complains and stuff too much about, feeling yucky. He's usually got to feel pretty yucky to say something, so. He didn't even do his chores tonight that he normally always does, and I said, that's not a problem. I will do them. You just sit and relax. He was really tired yesterday because he works in a place where they repackage cheese. And yesterday, the guy that typically handles all the trucks coming in and getting them unloaded and getting the cheese into the coolers was off. So then Bob takes over the job that he normally does. And naturally, when Bob is there, they have a whole crap load of trucks come in. And, they get so much coming in, they don't have cooler space left. So then they had to have some run down to this cold storage place in Mosinee where this business is. And they had to store some down there. So poor Bob's having to help unload these trucks. And thank God it was with all forklift and stuff. I said, so you weren't doing any lifting, right? Because he also now has a hernia problem, which I said he better go and have checked out also. And he's been putting that off. He's had that problem for probably a month now. And I said, well, maybe it's not bad to the point where they even have to do surgery, because he's all worried about having to be off work again. And I know if the hernia isn't real bad and isn't bothering you a whole lot, sometimes they do just leave them. And in the beginning, it wasn't bothering him a whole lot. It, of course, would be a little bit worse after he got home from work, after working all day, doing, the lifting of these, 40-pound blocks sometimes, or boxes of stuff. And I said, well, if it, starts, but you should at least go in and have it looked at. Not just do nothing, at least have it checked out and have, find out from the doctor if he feels it's okay to just leave it for a while or if it really should be taken care of. I would prefer to hear it from a doctor saying, okay, it's not that bad and we can wait, rather than Bob just saying, no, it's okay. Because, yeah, if the only reason he doesn't want to have it taken care of is because he doesn't want to be off work again, that's not a good enough reason, right? His health has to come first. Again, especially after everything that man has gone through. We don't want to see him slide backwards. So, this video is getting rather lengthy, I see. We're almost at an hour and a half. I didn't really initially think this was going to be this long, so hope you didn't mind this getting a little bit longer and listen to me ramble on and on. I've been meaning to do a diamond paint and chat anyhow, so I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to do this demo between the round and the square diamond paintings and kind of how you have to kind of drill each type. There's not a big difference, as you can see. Again, the square drills just have to be positioned, you know, a little bit differently and a little bit more accurately. But as you can see, as you drill these, the ones next to it, like I said, they really help straighten them out. The hardest part is when you go in the middle when there's nothing around it like that. You know, if you're going up against a previous one that you can, you know, line up this one against, it's not that bad at all. And so if, you know, you've been afraid of the squares and you didn't ever want to try it, or like I said, I think I had gotten a comment from one of you guys that had attempted a square diamond painting and was ready to throw it in the trash. As I told you in the comment, just to, you know, practice with it, give it time, and it will come. But again, you may just not like squares because you just want to go with the rounds. Again, I do think the rounds are easier. I think they go a lot faster. And just like my coloring, I am always in a hurry. You know, it's real hard for me to just take my time when I'm coloring because I'm always thinking ahead. You know, what do I want to color next? Oh, I want to do this and I want to do that. Kind of like my videos. I am just a huge list person. I don't know if you are like that. I am like that. I have a list for everything. And so I have a number of diamond painting video to-do lists because I'll have a generic overall one with, you know, probably is going to take me a year to get through. And then I have one with requests that I want to get through, and then I will have one. Okay, now tomorrow I want to plan out my day and what videos I'm going to get done tomorrow. So then I'm going to take a piece of paper, I'm going to look at my other lists, and I am going to write down if I have requests. That's going to be the first videos that I want to get done the next day. So it's okay, tomorrow I'm going to do these or this. Maybe I only get one done, but I always want to get one off my list. And there is one outstanding one out there that I have not gotten to, and I'm not sure how soon in the future I will get to it either. And that is working with the pan pastels yet. So that one is still on my list to get to. I, in addition, have been contacted by another publisher of a coloring book if I would like to have that book sent to me for review. So when I receive that, I will be doing a flip through, and we will color a page out of it, or I will. I always say we because I feel like you're right here with me. And we'll just do a little bit more of these blues. My pen is running out of wax anyhow. As you can see though, you can do quite a few drills before you have to re-wax your pen. I mean, you can do a few hundred drills and, you know, your pen is still going typically. So that's why, you know, when they send you all this wax, you know, with, you get a, you know, a square of wax with each kit, you will never use that much wax for that particular diamond painting. Even on my huge 60 by 80s that I do, you never go through a whole square of wax. So when I see on, well, AliExpress and Amazon, you can get these kits that include a gajindo amount of squares of wax. Or on AliExpress, I've seen, you know, where you can get like 20 packs of wax. It's like, why would you need that much wax? It would take a month of Sundays to, well, a lot more than a month of Sundays. It would take you years to get through that. And I would think by the time you get through that, that it would not be quite as sticky as if it were new. Because even with that plastic coating on the wax, that wax sheet that you got to peel back, it still dries out a little bit. I don't really have a problem with it drying out, and that's why I do fill up all of my drill pens that I converted from these Stabilo worker pens I made into, you know, drill pens. I have about 10 of these that I converted, and so I go through and I fill all of them up with wax at the same time. I put them in the tray next to me in my drafting table, and then I can just grab the next pen when the wax runs out on this one, and I don't have to stop working. And I really don't have a problem with the wax drying out in my pens as they sit there waiting for me to use them. I've never had that problem, so I don't really feel, you know, it's not like a marker where if you keep the cap off, the tip's gonna dry out. I don't feel that that wax really dries out like that either. Again, at least I haven't noticed a problem. And I don't seem to be having a problem with these blues being too big. So maybe it is just that color up in the corner. And I have had that problem in the past with a certain color being a little bit bigger than the others, and unfortunately this one diamond painting I did right before Christmas was one I really loved. It was a custom I had made of it was two babies that were like hugging each other. They were sleeping, and they were up in the clouds, and there were two doves up by them. I mean, it was just adorable. I'll have to show you it sometime, but I have not framed that one yet either because I had a humongous problem with a certain color, and naturally it was a color that was used so much throughout the entire picture. There's just a huge amount of this particular color, and I had popping drills everywhere. No matter how many times I went over a section with the roller, I'd come back the next day and they were popped out again. And it was due to the fact that, yeah, the diamonds were just a little, you know, teeny weeny little amount bigger. But when you're talking about this tiny of drills, even a teeny weeny little amount is a huge amount. And so, yeah, I had a big time problem. See, now this particular drill, you won't be able to see it, but it has a little bit of edging around it where I know I can't use it. I'm sure you can't see that on camera, but that would, that particular drill, you'd have a problem sticking a drill down next to it. So we are going to toss that one. Sometimes you will have some batches of drills too. I haven't had this problem in quite a while though, where it'll seem like one color has this happen more than other colors, and that's when you get these little pinholes in the top, and it's like there were air bubbles when they formed these particular resin tiles. And I don't know if it's just a certain batch when it was made, because I have no idea how they make these. I always wanted to know that. How do you make these little drills, these little tiles? They must be made in some type of a form that is then goes through some kind of machine where the edges are cut off. Because sometimes, and I've had this problem too, you will get drills where they have little tabs, teeny weeny little tabs that stick out from the sides, and you cannot use those, because then, yeah, that's another situation where once you put a tile next down, you know, on the canvas down next to it, that next drill will not fit tightly down on the canvas because there's a little tabby sticking out from the previous drill. And I was having that problem too quite a bit in the past. And matter of fact, on that same diamond painting where I was having the popping drill problem, I had some colors that had that problem a lot with the little tabbies sticking out on the side. So that's why I'm assuming, I know, never assume, but I am assuming that these are made, like I said, in some form of mold and then are somehow cut apart. But sometimes, evidently, a machine goes awry and does not get all the sides off or something. And I think we will go ahead and just do these couple up here yet. I'm running out of drills. And then we will call it good, but at least I will have all this color done too. Yay, I'm actually getting something done on this one that I need to get done. Maybe my next diamond painting and drill, we will work on this one again, even though I'm really loving that round one. I was having a lot of fun with that. But this is one that I do have to get done. That's, you know, one thing when you're, you know, making a gift for somebody, or, you know, there's a set time frame that you have to have it done in for one reason or another. Typically it would be because it's a gift you want to give to somebody for an occasion, and you aren't getting quite as far on it as you would like, and you know you're getting into a time crunch, then it's a little bit harder to enjoy the process because you're just worried about, am I going to get it done in time, right? And that happened a couple years ago for me too, because I made all of my kids a diamond painting for Christmas. But I did start plenty early where it wasn't a huge problem. I started months early, so I knew that I was going to, see here again, these are popping up. But it is all that one color, so I am, like I said, I'm going to have to go back and see if I have some smaller drills. I'm going to look in my extra drill supply that I have kept from other diamond paintings too, and I'm going to see if I have some in there, because if they're in there, then they're good drills. I don't keep bad ones. And maybe I can find some that are just a hair smaller, and just, I wouldn't have to replace all of them, but just some of them here and there so that they can fit together nicer. And I see there's one up here, and I may, yeah, I think I will. I'm gonna take that one out, and I'm going to, I don't like, every once in a while you'll find this, when they take a picture and they convert it into a diamond painting, every once in a while you will run across a situation where once it's converted and stuff, it throws in a weird, you know, color somewhere. And if I am doing the diamond painting and I look at it from back far, not when I'm up close, but look back far, and if I know this one is going to look bizarre, I'm going to take that one back out. Here, it's not maybe quite so bad because it kind of goes into, you know, down in here. That one, to me, just looks out of place. So, yeah, I'm going to take that one back out. And, matter of fact, I wonder what color was up there. I'll just take out the one next to it and see what the symbol is, right? Let's do that quick. Where's my handy dandy tweezers? So I am going to take, and I'm right in the way, I know, but I'm going to take this one back out. Here we go. And I'm going to look under here, see what this symbol is. Easier said than done. It's like pulling teeth, you know? Easier said than done sometimes, especially when you have a really sticky canvas and it's surrounded. Okay, you're coming, I know you are. Get off of there. Okay, they're ends, okay. All right, so I am going to put an N in there. And N was, I'm gonna have to peel this back again. What was our N? 819. Oh yeah, the one I should have known. It's this big one. See, again, this diamond painting, N is the majority of what is going to be in the entire background, and this is the color that I'm having a problem with. Grr. That makes me angry. Matter of fact, I couldn't even fit them all in one. I had to put it in two because there were so many. I'm gonna see how that's gonna work. I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to just put, yeah, and I think that looks much better. I wanted to do it right away while I was thinking of it. So, matter of fact, you can probably even see maybe from that angle where some look like they're popping a little bit. Boy, like I said, I sure hope, because I can feel this one's up. I sure hope I do not have this problem throughout the entire diamond painting. It makes it hell working on it. So yeah, I am definitely going to look in my extra storage and see if I have any more, because as you push one down, it pushes the other one up. And these two, oh my heavens, these are really tight. And no matter what I do, like I said, you push one down, it pops another one up. So this is the problem with popping drills, when they're just a little too big. And I am going to probably, after seeing the problems now that I am having, I am going to contact the seller, because this is just not going to work. If they could maybe just send me new of this particular color, I could work on the entire rest of the diamond painting and wait for this one. Of course, again, you know, there's so much N in here. Look at all of this. I mean, it goes on and on and on. So it'd be nice if they could expedite it to me, but you know they won't, because that costs extra. So, all right, anyhow, that is enough of me going on and on complaining. I'm going to end this color, and it's not a color and chat, it's a diamond painting and chat, Lisa. Get with the program here tonight. I am going to end this diamond painting and chat. It's like now, hour and 45 minutes almost. Wowzers. So I hope you enjoyed looking at the difference between the round diamond painting and the square. It's looking kind of nice, except for that. We won't get into it again. If you like this, please give me that thumbs up and subscribe if you are new to my channel. I hope everybody had a terrific week. It is Friday night, so I hope you all have a great weekend and happy coloring and happy diamond painting. Bye, guys.